The Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, alongside former Packer Bryan Bulaga. Here's Emmy Award winner Homer.
The best 60 minutes of your day, the Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour. In addition, the segment Bryan Bulaga and Jason Wilde. That's coming up in a few minutes. Good afternoon, Bryan.
How we doing?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Well, I'm great. Phenomenal.
You do understand that I have no interest to actually ask that, but people say that I should, so I do.
That's very kind.
Yeah, because I can't speak for you personally, but if I was having major problems and you ask me how I'm doing, I'm not telling you about them. Because I'm not convinced the audience for this show, which is the most important thing, really gives a hoot. So, but privately, if you needed any assistance from me, other than going to the Masters, I'm not having any much luck there. I think I'm past my prime. I don't think I have that input. But other than that, be happy to take care of you, but it doesn't need to be a part of the show. And I would hope you would view the same thing. So I can actually say, so Bryan, how you doing? You can go, fine. Say, Homer, how you doing? Fine. Then we've gone through that. It means nothing, but apparently it sounds good. So people think I'm rude if I don't ask.
That's the pleasantries.
Yes, pleasantries.
You got to do it.
No, you don't. But I'm willing to do it. Like, it's just shake hand used to be enough. Now, so ever you see anybody? So how you doing? Fine. Oh, how you doing? Fine. Well, thanks. Well, come on.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I just always looked at it as common courtesy.
But earlier in your life, I don't think people did that as often. I think that the desire to do that has increased, I would say, exponentially.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that's all I need is an agreement. That's good enough. I get an agreement from you on anything. All right. Now, earlier this week, Mark Tauscher was on with, who was he on with,
Earl Dotson.
Earl Dotson. Have you've met Earl, I know.
I think I have, yes. I think I have it at some point.
He was on the Super Bowl winning team many years ago. And he went, and I remember this, he went to Texas A&I.
Oh.
You know what Texas A&I is?
No.
Small school. I don't know. I'd never heard of it. And he stated, most people think he went. I think it is actually a small group of Texas A&M. I think you have Texas A&M and then you have Texas A&I. I'm not sure. All I know is I'd never heard of the school before, and I've really never heard of it since. He is in their Hall of Fame, which he damn well should be.
I would hope so.
I can't believe
I would hope so.
Yeah, because he was very good. And there were some comments that he made in the discussion that I thought were so good because I wanted to ask you to comment on them. What do we have, What's the first one? With Reggie White?
Yeah, we can start there.
So I think he was pretty young at the time. I don't know if he'd been on the team very long. And then this is what happened to Earl Dotson.
When I first got here, Leroy, George Kuntz, and Reggie White sat me down and talked to me. And they say, man, you could be a great offensive lineman. Reggie said, I'm going to work with you. I'll tell you what you're doing wrong. Mm-hmm. And like that was my mentors. And to have a guy like Reggie White tell you that, man, I grew up idolizing the guy. So it gave me confidence. I came from a small school. Tausch know this. Everybody think I came from A&M. I came from Texas A&I, small school. Mm-hmm. And I think the doubt was the years I had some great years there. I was Offensive Player of the Year. But they thought the talent I was playing
Level
with.
of competition.
There you go.
Yep.
So I ain't going to lie. I came into the league thinking, well, maybe it's true until the first day we put on pads. I'm like, I'm going to be all right.
Okay, we can stop it right there.
Like
Stop it there. All right. There's so many parts of things that I've always believed. All right. One, I believe Reggie White and those players don't do that to everyone. I believe they did that to him because they thought he could be really good and help the team. Is my theory correct?
Yeah, 100%. Reggie White wasn't sitting down every rookie and saying, I think you could be special. Sorry, or Leroy Butler. I get just that was not that. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's like, well, they're going to go through every rookie that may not be good and tell them they can be great. Nope. Like
this, I would say, is almost rare. Is that going too far?
I don't want to say it's rare because obviously there's talented guys that come through every year. And guys.
All right. We won't call it rare.
Yeah. Guys talk to guys as they compete against them in practice and things like that. You start to notice something and pull a guy to the side and have a conversation with them. So I don't know if it's rare, but to have two Hall of Famers have that conversation with you and the talent that Butler and obviously Reggie White were at the time, they didn't have to do that.
Right.
That wasn't.
They're thinking this guy can make us better, and he could make us better right now. So let's. And then here's my follow-up, because I thought you would be one who could say that. Now he goes to Texas A&I, and clearly he was really good, and I don't know why he went to Texas A&I instead of a bigger school. But when a player says after the first day of pads what he said, that's got to be rare.
Yeah. Now that's a little different, right? Like he knew immediate, like what I take from that, and I'm sure the guys around him took from that, or from seeing him, the minute they saw him, they were like, oh, whoa, like what is that?
He showed him something.
Yes, it was probably that first initial team drill or 1v1 or 2v2 versus run blocking station that people were like, whoa, what where he played at A&I? What is that? Right? Like that's how I felt.
How soon did you feel what he just said he felt the first day?
It wasn't the first day for me. I think by the time I got to middle of training camp, maybe the second week of pads,
right,
I felt like in blocking Clay every single day, I was kind of like, all right, like Clay's really good. And I've seen Clay on tape, like in the NFL, not at USC. I could care less about that, but on NFL tape. And he's really damn good. And he makes a lot of tackles look really bad play after play after play. And I get practice isn't a game, but at that time, it was double days, pads every day, it felt like. And guys were rolling. It wasn't like training camp today. I mean, guys are rolling. They're going hard. Clay's in his second year. Just had a great first year. So, like, I got the best of Clay every single day. Like, I mean, every single day. And when I finally settled in and I was comfortable with the offense or comfortable enough, and I was able to speed up my play and technique because I felt good with the offense and what I was doing every play, then it was like, okay, like, this feels a lot like I feel like I can do this. If I'm doing this against Clay, I know that I can go out there and do it against other pros.
So you know what I'd be thinking after I said that? I'm going to be rich playing in this league. They stole $13 million from me on draft day. I'm going to get all of that money back. I don't think you think like that.
That wasn't my thought my rookie year.
Okay.
Right off the get, I was kind of thinking like, let's just continue to stay afloat here and learn day by day.
Right.
Because then like the next day it'd be like, all right, we're installing something completely new. So turn your brain on and make sure you remember all the stuff that we learned from 2 weeks ago, but also now we're installing something new. And we'll go back to all that stuff from 2 weeks ago that you thought you were fresh on, but now it's going to be against a different look in a different situation.
Now,
So,
I want to know if you hear in this discussion between Tauscher and Dotson what it was that made it clear to others so quickly on how good he was.
I don't know if there is an offensive lineman that's been through Green Bay with a bigger punch than Earl Dotson.
Okay, stop right there. Because that's what you taught me. I never a bigger punch. That would show people immediately, right? That punch or not.
Well, yeah, I mean, because, again, we're talking about different eras of football, right? Like,
whatever you say.
It's the punch in that point in time in the NFL. Like, today's game is different. Like, it just is.
You can't do that today, or they don't do it as well?
You just don't do it against today's DNs. Like, it's just, it's not a huge punch every single time. It's single hand.
They're too quick, or what's changed?
Yeah. I think that's the profile of the player has changed completely.
Okay.
They're not, like, listen, for as great, and I mean great, as Reggie White was, he was a big target to hit. So you could, and that's the only really way to slow down massive targets and big men like that, is you have to stop their force somewhere and get their pads to pop up so that you can then handle that size, right?
And that's what Earl Dotson would have done, right?
Yes, 100%. To stop Reggie White, if you just think you're going to set back and just let that man run at you, you are out of your mind. You're absolutely out of your mind.
But now they're smaller, quicker, more Micah Parsons. You can't do that.
Yeah, the body type has changed.
Okay.
Like, right, you're looking at guys like sure, you have your Myles Garrett. That's an absolute Greek god, right? Like, that's how he's sculpted out. But his hands are so good. And then you have the profiles like Micah and like when Von Miller was at his prime. Like, those guys are so fast with their hands, so good with their hands. If you throw a two-hand punch at him, he's swatting that. He's timing that. He's seeing it. He's swatting it from a mile away, and your hands are going down, and he's around you. So it's more about timing and patience.
So if I had Earl or Dotson on with you, I think he would say, Brian, you're right. I'd figure it out. I'd figure out something, but maybe you can't.
Well, he was a great player. He'd probably figure it out, but that approach that he took, I guarantee he would change his approach.
Okay.
Like, just player to player, game to game, if you just go in and do the same exact thing over and over and over again, the guys study tape too.
All
right? Like, they study tape on you unless they just can't adjust. And to me, you look at a guy like Dotson and his size and strength. The minute you get hit with one of those haymakers, like, it's stopping the D end in his tracks. It's, like I said, popping his pads up, and then he's able to get his bear paws on you, and it's essentially done.
All right, let's hear the whole thing. I interrupted and didn't let him finish, so now I want you to hear the whole thing. Tauscher and Dotson, then we'll get a final thought before we break for the top segment of the day, Bryan Bulaga and Jason Wilde.
I don't know if there is an offensive lineman that's been through Green Bay with a bigger punch than Earl Dotson. I demonstrated on Tausch. We didn't do the pads, and Earl and I would be doing our drills, and I always, God, Earl's punch is. You're not gonna do it anymore. Earl's punch is Hall of Fame good, man. It is unbelievable, and I'm guessing even with his sleeked out frame now, that punch is still there.
Hey,
and I could have messed with it, but
I used to always tell you, hey, if you shock them right off the ball, they done lost everything they was thinking about.
Just as you said.
Yep, exactly. It's exactly right. Listen, I know how.
Did you have drills with another offensive lineman where they wowed you or impressed you the way Tauscher was talking about Dotson and the punch?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were guys, when you did all your individual drills, it'd be offensive line on offensive line and like those punching drills and hand placement drills and things like that. You'd get to see how a guy works.
What did Bakhtiari do that was so impressive?
Well, Dave's first year, and he'll self-admit this, it was very awkward Like, he was a very awkward mover. He wasn't. I don't think he was comfortable yet in his own size and frame and what he had to do. I mean, he went out there and did good for what was expected of him at left tackle, but it wasn't until his second year when he had time to then adapt to what happened in year one and go to year two, and you started seeing how good his hand placement was and how good he was after his first initial punch or not even punch, where he placed his hands, how his feet then adjusted to it to get ready for a redirect, right? Like for the secondary rush.
I need you to give to Junior. Right? We have the hand placement after the feet and after the initial rush.
Yeah, I saw that early in his second year. Like, I'm like, that's really good. Like, that's really clean.
Did you go,
like,
where did this come from? How did?
Oh yeah. I mean, he was still. I mean, I was able to give him crap all through his career because he was younger than I was. But like, I remember getting done with a practice, and I was like, dude, whatever you did, it worked. Looked great, moving great. Like, you look like a completely different guy than last season. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna. I could do this forever, but we got Jason Wilde, and when you have your own Jason Wilde Yuengling hotline, we can't be late. Wilde and the Doc next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Eastbound on 94, we got backups from 164 all the way to Brookfield Road. You're back on the brakes from 76th Street all the way to 35th. On the westbound side, slowing from 27th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. Then back on the brakes west of Highway 100, on and off the brakes actually to Calhoun. Southbound 43, watch for delays from Capitol Drive all the way into the Marquette. Northbound is slowing down from Oklahoma Avenue all the way up to Locust. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Think you've got championship luck in your corner? 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are giving one lucky listener and a guest a chance to play in the ESPN Milwaukee Open. Listen weekdays from 7 to 9 a.m. June 15th through the 17th and be the right caller to qualify. 15 listeners will each be paired with a golfer in the U.S. Open Championship, and the highest finish wins the grand prize twosome.
Thanks to Delzer, a division of Proof, The Bog, Carbliss, the Jewelry Center, PCI, Captivate Exhibits, Welky's, Fifth Third Bank, Epic Color, and Jet Out.
Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus. Any make, any model, any condition. You'll be surprised at how much you'll get for your trade at the Cunis Trade-Up event, happening now at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Cunis dealerships in Oak Creek, Greenfield, and Hope Chevrolet on West Metro Auto Mall. That's right. Any make, any model, any condition. Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus and take advantage of great new vehicle specials from Chevrolet, GMC, and Buick. Looking for value? Shop over 3,000 pre-owned vehicles group-wide with models for every lifestyle and payments for every budget. Plus, we'll buy your car even if you don't buy one from us. The Cunis Trade-Up event is happening now. Get a $1,000 trade-in bonus. Any make, any model, any condition. For a limited time only. Find your nearest location at shopcunis.com.
The Crew take on the Dodgers Friday, May 22nd through Sunday the 24th. Join Boy Band Night on Friday the 22nd, presented by Wintrust. Grab a theme night ticket for a Brew Crew Boys t-shirt and stay for post-game fireworks presented by T-Mobile. Then on Saturday, the first 25,000 fans collect a patriotic Brewers hat. Close it out with Family Sunday fun as the first 5,000 kids 14 and under get a Brewers pennant on the 24th, courtesy of Joy. Grab your seats at Brewers.com.
Feels like the world is a little broken lately. Maybe all we need is a fix. Most spirits are acidic. Fix Vodka is different. Fix Vodka is the world's first high-alkaline, acid-free vodka. Handcrafted with natural spring water and select grain. Clean, smooth, done right. Better water, better vodka. Get your local fix.
Fix Vodka.
Enjoy responsibly.
You know, I mean, your home is about as personal as it gets, right?
We want to build a relationship with homeowners, not only educating them, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us.
Yeah, the interview goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to know people while also serving them. It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
Besides that, it's just the right thing to do. See how Big Fish Contracting is renovating homes and redeeming an industry at bigfishcontracting.com.
This is the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It's time for Jason Wilde on the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
It is the doctor of football, Bryan Bulaga, along with the man who, three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, has his own Yuengling hotline, the Jason Wilde Yuengling hotline. Take it away, Doc.
Jason, good evening. How are you?
Are you sick of me yet, Brian?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. I kept you for like 45 minutes yesterday, and today we did a charitable endeavor that you have no need or requirement to do, but you did it anyway for your old buddy Corey Lindsley and for me, and now you got to talk to me again. I appreciate you tolerating. Paula doesn't even want this much of me bothering.
No, I was happy to do it. That's always a fun little thing that you guys do for CASA. I enjoy doing it. It's fun. Never know what questions you may get, so that's why I enjoy it.
It's true. Yeah, you were very nimble. You did a great job.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, I kind of mentioned it to you on your show, but do you remember a season? I mean, you could probably guess maybe 2014, you know, maybe that was a year that there were guesses about it. But do you remember a Packer season that they were favored in that many games out of a schedule? 13? Like, do you remember that?
Yeah. I don't, and I don't do a great job of keeping track of that, obviously, right? Like, I'm more, you know, I can remember stupid things like the 2014 offensive line had one guy miss one game, and it was you against the Jets in week 2, and then he came back on a torn MCL in a week, basically. I remember stuff like that, but when it comes to, like, favored, I would just say this. You know, your 2011 team had some pretty damn high expectations and lived up to them until you didn't, right?
Yep.
And in 14, I think there was a feeling, I don't know about going into the season, but certainly, you know, after Rodgers dropped the relax, because that was 2014, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
You know, it was clear you were a really good team. There are other years where we were maybe skeptical of how good you were, and we thought, well, things have got to fall into place for them. And in 2016, when you guys started slow out of the gate, and then Rodgers did the run the table deal, like, yeah, you ran into a buzzsaw in Atlanta that time, and they exacted their revenge for what you guys did to them in 2010. But you guys had no business being in that game, right? You guys put it all together. Phenomenal game in Dallas. So, like, I'm so perplexed by this coming season. Like, I just don't know what, like, I can expect whatever I choose to expect, but I have no idea how close I'll be to being right. Like, I can
help you out here, Jason. I'm with you. What do you need to know? I can tell you they're going to be good, but not that good. What?
Like, I can see a version of them that stays really healthy, like that 2014 team. You know, who did you guys lose in 14? And was it Barnett? Was Barnett still there? Or Clay moved to the inside? Or Bishop? Yep. Somebody got hurt. Clay moved to inside linebacker and went to the Pro Bowl still at a position he didn't want to play. But other than that, like, you guys were really healthy that year, and Julius was there, and I can see a way for this team.
This team has no chance to be 12-4. None.
Yeah, again, you and your none. I don't agree.
Okay, Aaron Rodgers. Who's the replacement for Aaron Rodgers? Who's the replacement for Devontae Adams? Who's the replacement for Randall Cobb? Who's the replacement for David Bakhtiari? I don't need to go any further. Come on, Jason. Yeah. Doc, set him straight.
Well, I didn't say it was a likely path.
It was. I think what Jason's trying to say is, and he's making to me at least, a good point. The team completely healthy on paper, to me, looks like they could win 12 games, in my opinion. Like, if that team stays healthy, yes, I think they have the talent in the starting group to win 12 games. There's no doubt.
Excuse me, Doc. Can I quote a Bryan Bulaga? Do you want to know the offensive line, what you've said about your concerns of this offensive line?
Yes.
Do I need to tell you that offensive line? Bakhtiari, Sitton, Lindsley, Lang, Bulaga.
All right. No one is saying that this group is that. In fact, if I'd have been permitted to finish my thought.
Sorry.
Which wasn't.
I'll get back on the cot. My mistake.
You don't have to go on the cot. Just let me finish, and then you can critique my position. What I was trying to say was I can see a path for them to 13-4, but I can just as easily, if they have if their offensive line is not as bad as I think it's going to be, but as bad as you would fear it to be, like at center, Sean Ryan doesn't make a meaningful jump. At right guard, Belton is about the same as he was last year, which was good for a rookie, but not good enough. If Jordan Morgan, who Joe Thomas was saying today that he watched him a little bit when he went to that phase 2 practice the other day, he said he's got great feet, and I've heard Brian say that too. But great feet is not you got to have. Bryan Bulaga had excellent feet and those darn short arms of his. But you know what else he had? He had a huge high IQ, football IQ. And he would always, much like the guy that played the position before him, even if he didn't have his fastball that day, even if he wasn't on top of his game, he always found a way to get the job done, right? And yes, am I tempted to make a joke about Bruce Irvin? Because you know why I bring up Bruce Irvin? Because he's the only guy I ever saw actually get the better of Bryan Bulaga more than on one snap at a game. It's really hard to play tackle in the league, and we just don't know if Jordan Morgan can or can't. And so when I say I see a path to 13-4, that also entails him playing left tackle at an extremely high level where they don't have to slide a lot of protection his way and help him out a lot. But I also see a path where they're 9-8, 8-9. And the other reason why I see a path to 13-4, if everything falls right and they stay healthy, is because I do believe the schedule makers did them a solid. They don't have any really brutal turnarounds. I would actually argue that having your bye week split kind of the way it's been split with that, Thanksgiving Eve game and everything else, I actually think that's pretty good. You don't have a full bye, but you have two they're more than just a mini bye, right? One's 9 days and one's 10 days. So you don't have the 14 days, but I'd take that over some of the alternatives. So that's what I'm saying is that I can argue on this program right now that they're going to go 8-9, and I think I can do a pretty good convincing job of it. I can argue on this very same program at the very same time that they could go 13-4, and I think I can do a pretty decent job of it. But I just don't feel confident in either of those opinions, and to me that's the challenge.
Yeah, because I think to me it depends on what we've talked about, offensive line. I mean, we'll say that, but I think it also depends on defensive line and what happens opposite of Micah, and how does that group perform? Like, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, those are, and it's going to sound so cliche, but to me, it's what happens at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball that's going to determine how this season goes. And I understand, like, we want to talk about quarterback and this and the receivers and Tucker Kraft and all. Like, yes, they are going to play. Like, obviously, Jordan Love is a very, 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 very important part of this puzzle. I get it, but I still feel that what the offensive and defensive line's role in this season is going to be the makeup of it. If those two groups excel, this thing could go in a really good direction. If one side struggles or they suffer injuries or things like that, we saw how that went. We saw exactly how that went last year. So to me,
and
that's where it's at.
So, right, and I'm glad you did that, because I was thinking on the offensive side, and I never really even reached the point of talking about the defensive side. But let's take, again, best case scenario, like Javon Hargrave is the same guy he was the last time he played for Jonathan Gannon, even though it was like 4 years ago, right? Worst case scenario, he busts his chin strap, as we like to say. But he had a couple of years ago where he tore his pec or tore his triceps, and he didn't play. He played like 4 games. Devontae Wyatt, you like him when he's healthy. So do I. Problem is, the last 2 years, he's had significant injuries, and 2 years ago he came back and played, but played poorly, right? Last year he was just done for the year. So how good is he? We know Micah Parsons is special. But, like, you're an Iowa guy. I don't root against in any way Lucas Van Ness. But I didn't think he'd get the fifth-year option until Goody said during the offseason, and I should have been more on top of it, but he flat out said, this isn't based on what he's done. It's based on what we think he'll do. Well, that's you admitting that you don't know what he'll do. You're hoping he'll do what you are paying him to do. But again, we don't have a preponderance of evidence of how good he is going to be for them. The other guys that are behind Micah and LVN are all projections. Like, I like Barron Sorrell. I have no evidence that he can be like an 8-sack, 40-pressure guy. I don't have that evidence about Colin Oliver. I've seen a few moments from Brenton Cox, but I don't know about that. And then, the draft class, the other thing about this team, I know you don't want to rely on your draft class to have huge roles on a year-in, year-out basis, but with only 6 guys and one of them a kicker, like, I don't know who among them is going to have an impact right away. And if there are injuries, you're going to need a couple of them at whatever positions those injuries occur to be able to step in. And I don't know if they're capable of that. There's just so many I don't knows. And, we can joke all we want about Rodgers and the Steelers, and I don't follow that team closely enough to know their depth chart. But I'll tell you this, back when you were playing with number 12, we could do this all day, but we would still come to the end of, hey, they got Rodgers. That's all that matters. Like, they'll figure the rest out. And Jordan has not reached the point where I can say, well, they've got Jordan. They'll figure the rest out.
Yep. I'm with you on that. Like, as much as I like Jordan Love, I think he can, like, Homer and I talked about this on Monday. Like, I think he's in that very good tier. But when you mention Aaron Rodgers, he was in the elite tier. And when you have that tier of quarterback, he can solve a lot of your problems.
And he still only got to 1 Super Bowl in how many years?
Oh,
well, again,
Homer needs to hear what Dorsey Levens said at that event.
Yeah, what did Dorsey say?
Well, here's a guy who played in 3 Super Bowls.
I agree. I know who Dorsey Levens is. Thanks.
Yeah, I know you know that.
But what did he say? Because I'm going to disagree.
What is with you today?
I don't know.
What is with you? You're very interruptive. I feel like Greta Van Susteren.
All right. I'll turn my mic off. Go ahead.
What he said. No, this will be brief. What he said. He got a question from somebody about should we be unhappy that the Packers didn't get more Super Bowls with Aaron Rodgers as the quarterback? And he basically said, do you know how effing hard it is to get to the Super Bowl? Do you know how many things have to go your way no matter how good your team is? Like, Bryan Bulaga was a fantastic player. Went to the Super Bowl as a rookie. Youngest guy to ever start a Super Bowl. And how many Super Bowls did you make it to after that, Brian?
Fortunately, none.
And it wasn't because you sucked or the quarterback sucked or the coach sucked. It's always something, right? And you never know what that thing is going to be. It can be the one I always like to use. It can be cutting a third-string tight end in October, right, in Ryan Taylor. And that ends up being the difference between whether you go to the damn Super Bowl or not. Because Ryan Taylor, earlier in the season or earlier in his career, he tells the story better than I do. He decided to be a hero and try and field an onside kick when he was only supposed to be blocking so the guy behind him could field the onside kick. And he did that, and he got his ass chewed out to beat the band. And who would have been on the field in front of Jordy Nelson instead of Brandon Bostic if he had not been released? Ryan Taylor. Do we really think he would have made the same mistake a second time after getting reamed out when he did it in a game that didn't have a Super Bowl berth on the line? No, we do not. And if that play, there's 10 plays in that game that are the difference between you going to the Super Bowl or not. And if that one play is the only one we change, you're in the Super Bowl. I don't know if you win it or not, but you are. And that's my point, is that we can say, yeah, and they only made it to one Super Bowl with a great quarterback. Yeah, because it's not just the great quarterback, and all it takes are those stupid little fluky things that when they cut Ryan Taylor in October, if you would have told Ted, hey, this is going to cost you the Super Bowl, Ted would have been like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? But that's exactly what it did.
Yeah, I wish you'd have said the quarterback's not that important. There's only one thing that's important. There's only one thing that's at the top of the list, and it's not quarterback.
Luck.
No, defense. Every year since 1965 that they've won a championship, they've been first or second in points given up, other than Lombardi's last year when they were third. There's way too much discussion about the quarterback. This is over 60 years. I wish Dorsey would say what he should say. The quarterback, yes, the Packers.
No. Yeah, who cares take all the Super Bowl champions. There's plenty of them that didn't have top defense.
It could easily be different given the weather, given the nature of Green Bay. What Dorsey Levens needs to say, and you said, the quarterback's not that important. I don't care if he's the greatest quarterback ever. If your defense isn't good enough in Green Bay, you ain't getting a ring.
The 2014 defense in the second half of that season was undeniably good enough.
Second half of it. I didn't say second half. That's a
that
new
was
stat.
when they moved Clay inside. That's when they played Julius Peppers more.
Well,
absolutely was good enough.
Okay.
Don't just go based on the stat sheet and the rankings.
For 60 years. All right, 2014.
The Packers.
2014 for the Packers,
man.
They were 13th. They were great offensively first. They were 13th in points given up. I don't know the last half of the season.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Clearly not, but the stats for 60 years. Vince Lombardi couldn't win without a defense that good.
It's not for 60 years. It's for just the Super Bowl teams that the Packers had. There's plenty of other Super Bowl teams that don't fit your paradigm, you crazy old man.
That's true. Well, when it happens differently in Green Bay, talk to me.
Okay. I'll just probably end up talking to you on Tuesday like I always do.
Well, you come up with a better reason why they only won one Super Bowl each with Favre and Rodgers. In the year those guys each won
It's always a different reason, that's why.
They was the year that they were first or second.
You're ruining the clock. All right, you guys got to go. You
take
got more
care.
time
Bye.
to talk.
Bye.
Right, bye.
Yeah, I did. I interrupted too much, which is hard to say that that's at a standard different than normally. No, I don't. That was the Jason Wilde Yuengling hotline. It's hard to believe that one thing could explain the Green Bay Packers. Different things occurred in those seasons. There were injuries in 2010 to a number of players. But even with the injuries, second in the league in points given up, 15 a game.
Yeah. mean, listen, Jason would agree with it too. We all, everyone's on board, and I was obviously on board when we started talking about this on Monday. It's a massive part. It's a massive part having a defense of that quality. Like it's an absolute. Like you don't get to Super Bowls with bad defenses. That's not what Jason said.
And I would say in 2010, the defense bailed out the offense even at the end of that game in the Super Bowl. What did the offense need to do? And they couldn't get a first down or something, and it gave Pittsburgh the ball again, right?
Yeah, I believe we did. Yep.
Bailed them out even when you win the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's the proper way to put it. Do you feel like the defense bailed you out? Probably not.
I think it was pretty complimentary.
Okay.
In that game,
right.
I think we played a complimentary game.
Right.
In all honesty,
yeah, I think over the course of the game, but at the end, when the offense, which was very good, could have finished the deal, they couldn't.
No, yeah,
and the defense made the plays.
They did,
yeah,
for sure.
All right, Milwaukee weight loss. Jason and I wouldn't argue about that. I did it because other people have done it, and they said, Homer, it's almost easy. I said, it can't be that good, and it is. Milwaukee weight loss. There's nothing special. They don't have counting calories, no prepackaged meals, no. Don't need to take a pill, anything. You eat less, and you're okay eating less, and that means you'll lose weight like I have, 26 pounds. I could go to 30 if I want. I eat less, and I'm okay eating less. You have a program you do for a couple of months, and then you change and add a little bit, but it's as simple as that. Can you eat less and be happy eating less? You can with MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980. Get a free consultation, and they'll tell you the specifics. But I'm telling you, I'm not the first one. I did this because I couldn't believe it was even close to easy. And I'm glad to say I was wrong. Milwaukee weight loss, 262-235-3980. Down 26. I can get to 30, but I'm happy with the weight I am. I eat less, and I'm happy eating less. Fine with it. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Just as a reminder, northbound on the Rock Freeway is closed between Highway 83 and 164. Earlier this morning, there was an accident between two semis there, and it has not opened since. So just keep that in mind. On southbound 41, we got some heavy traffic from Good Hope Road all the way to Capitol Drive. The northbound side slowing from Mayfair Road up to Silver Spring. Eastbound 94 on and off the brakes from Highway 164 all the way to about Brookfield Road, then back on the brakes from 70th Street all the way to 35th. Westbound is slowing from 27th Street to Hawley Road, then just west of Highway 100 all the way to Calhoun. And then on the bypass heading southbound, you got a heavy spot right past Greenfield Avenue, and then back on the brakes from Oklahoma Avenue down and around the Hale to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by Badgerland Junk. Clear the clutter fast with simple, stress-free cleanouts. From single items to full properties. Upfront pricing, no hidden fees. Visit BadgerlandJunk.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
According to American writer H.L. Mencken, a well-stocked bar can create over 17 billion different cocktails. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. I don't know if 17 billion is accurate or not, but I do know that Discount Liquor is the place to find everything you need to be well-stocked for any occasion. Discount Liquor is Wisconsin's home to over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,500 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines. Our unparalleled selection is rivaled only by our incredible savings and everyday low prices. And we know how to take care of our customers, no matter the occasion. In fact, Discount Liquor has won numerous national and local awards. Visit Discount Liquor at our Milwaukee or Waukesha locations. Family owned and operated since 1960.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
In Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow. Check out our specials at discountliquorinc.com.
On Thursday, May 28th, join Sharp for the 10th annual Unwrapped MKE from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based education programs serving thousands of urban elementary students in schools throughout Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org.
Steinhaffel's biggest Memorial Day sale is on now. Save 10% off store-wide and get $75 instant cash back for every $7.99 you spend. Plus, get a $200 MasterCard rewards card when you spend $29.99 or more. Buy a premium mattress and get free Premier delivery on everything. And get amazing doorbusters throughout the store. Don't forget to take advantage of Steinhaffel's 60-month 0% financing. Now through Memorial Day, only at Steinhaffel's.
I'm sure you feel the weather. You deserve better windows and doors. At Siding Unlimited, we install top-of-the-line wood, vinyl, and fiberglass windows with options to fit your style, color, and design choices. Built for energy efficiency, installed by our professional craftsmen at Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited, experience, integrity, craftsmanship. Stop by our amazing Waukesha showroom and visit sidingunlimited.com today.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a legendary group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 5th through the 7th with an exciting team competition at TPC Wisconsin in Madison. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Little Big Town with special guests Randy Houser and May Estes. Friday, June 5th at Breeze Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Welcome back to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Bryan Bulaga Homer Hour, and yes, I did interrupt too much. I didn't want to listen to the tape on the Jason Wilde Yuengling hotline, but I was hoping for better from Dorsey Levens. First thing every fan needs to know. Defense is, a quarterback's not as important as you think. It's important, and to have a good team, it's important. Peyton Manning won 2 Super Bowls. And the second one he won, he wasn't any good. Didn't matter. Found a good defense. Brett Favre, difference between the year they won and they didn't win, the second year the defense wasn't as good. I'm sure Jason will have some great stats for me for other teams. I don't care about other teams. The Green Bay Packers. I've got to go back to 1961 and 62. I'm sure they were best in the league. I know they were in 62. That was the best Packer team ever, and it's not even close. It's hard to believe how dominant they were. We'll get back to the doc. Bryan Bulaga. Do we have him on the screen? We do. Oh, my screen's just restarting. Can you say, even when the quarterbacks are great, a quarterback's not that important, or is that not? Because they are important, but you tell us how you think a quarterback should be looked at in assessing winning championships.
I think it's important. I think the quarterback has to be good and above to win a Super Bowl.
Good and above. Yeah, I like that.
You know, I think that's kind of where it needs to be. If he's an average QB in today's NFL, that's just not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
It just won't work. In
good and
NFL.
Above. And Jordan Love, right now, he doesn't have to get any better. He's good and above.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's got that covered. So then it comes down to, what do you surround that quarterback with?
Yeah.
And right? I mean, I'm not taking a shot at Sam Darnold, but Sam Darnold, I think, is a good quarterback and was surrounded by elite level talent offensively and defensively, and look what they were able to do.
And yet they needed him for one game. He had to be good and above for one game.
Yep. And he was. And I think that's the level that quarterbacks have to be able to play that to that level when called upon.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially in playoffs. They got to be able to go in and be like, yeah, I can have a day where I can throw for 350 and 4 touchdowns and get it done. But we're not saying you do that every time, but you could easily do that.
But if the defense is really good, I don't have to do that, and I don't need to try to do that.
No, not ever. No, you don't have to do that every game. No.
With the discussion with Jason, when he brought up 2014, and your discussion about the offensive line, oh man, David Bakhtiari, Josh Sitton, Corey Lindsley, T.J. Lang, and Bryan Bulaga. I don't want to even take time to compare that offensive line to the current one.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's
not close.
Yeah. And like I exclude myself from it because I don't like talking about myself, but you just look at those four guys alone.
And at wide receiver, Jordy Nelson, Randall Cobb, and Devontae Adams. Come on.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers and quarterback and Eddie Lacy. Like, I think I was right. That was the year you guys were number one in the league in points scored that year.
Yes, I think we were.
That's incredible. 30 points a game.
It's laughable. I mean, it's funny. I mean, it's you look at that offense and like, listen, there's very talented pieces on this.
Yeah, come on, you can't even. It's not even.
But you can't. No. You can't really. You can't compare apples to apples.
I mean, I was going to ask you 2011. You were at 35 points, but this was pretty close to that offense, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was very close to that offense. And, you know, you look at things that, like, you look at 2011 and you lose the game in, you know, at home against the Giants. But, like, the 2014 game or the 2014 season, as bad as the Seattle loss was and how I felt that we were the better team, they ended up winning the game. So clearly, you know, they were the winner, went on the Super Bowl. The thing that did that in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, was losing in Buffalo and losing the 1 seed to Seattle.
Yeah.
That's what, because I truly believe if Seattle comes to Green Bay, I feel like the story goes different.
You don't lose. You won't say it the way I'll say it. You don't lose. You know that. I know that. Everybody knows that. So that's just a great point.
And like, so I know a lot of people look at the playoff or the NFC Championship game, and believe me, as do I. Don't get me wrong. But you got to look at the events that lead up to that.
Yep.
Right. Like, and that Buffalo game is one of those that, and if you go back and watch the game, there's moments in that game where we should have pulled away and we should have been out of there, win by at least 10 points. And hey, it wasn't pretty, but we got it done and we're moving on and we're going to Tampa next week and hopefully we can see.
Then you come home, you win the Super Bowl, and Jason doesn't have to listen to me talk about the importance of first or second in defense. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home and Franklin, family business owned since 1931. It's not what they do, it's who they are, and they still own the business. The Fiscos still own Fisco Auto Body, and they're still working on cars. Imagine how many years they've been doing it. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. Any damage, Fisco has you covered. Fisco on Forest Home and Franklin. You'll like them, and eventually you say, Homer, I think I need to thank you. Fisco, to remember the name. Fourth quarter next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
I've learned in my life that sometimes certain questions don't have answers and certain answers don't have questions. That's where we are after what we all saw, or what we thought we saw, involving Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The Cleveland Cavaliers bring us you're poor, you're tired, and you're ragged after having that 7-game series win over the Detroit Pistons, and they were clearly the better team until 8 minutes left to play in the fourth quarter, where they blew a 22-point lead and lost in overtime. No matter who you want to blame James Harden for lack of defense and lack of making plays, whether you want to blame Donovan Mitchell for not wanting the ball more, or Kenny Atkinson for being not the kind of coach you're supposed to have when you have that kind of lead, or for Jalen Brunson being Mr. Clutch. Either way, we wondered what kind of game one were we going to get in that series after what we saw in game one with the Oklahoma City Thunder and the San Antonio Spurs. That Knicks-Cavaliers game was not a better game, but lordy, it was a better finish and leading to more questions than anybody could have imagined. In 60 seconds, now or never for SGA.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, scores to settle. All the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you could win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the whole season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase necessary. See website for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
Smalls here. What if you could enjoy the flavor of a cocktail without the alcohol? Meet RK Zero Proof, a pioneer in the alcohol-free spirits category that delivers bold taste and a warming sensation, but with 0 alcohol, 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 calories. So you can celebrate with friends, unwind after a long day, and wake up tomorrow feeling great. It's all the ritual of a drink without the regret. Discover RK at rkbeverages.com. That's ARKAY beverages.com. RK, the spirit without the alcohol.
You never want to say Game 2 is a must-win in a playoff series. I don't care if it's the Stanley Cup or Major League Baseball or definitely the NBA. But if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder and you're 0-1 in the series of the Western Conference Finals after losing Game 1 at home to a team in the San Antonio Spurs that have beaten you not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4, but 5 times in 6 games this season, oh, yeah, it is definitely a must-win game if you're Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren and Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso and anybody on the Bricktown side of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I firmly believe if they don't win Game 2 at home, if they go down 0-2 to a team that's had their number all year long, then SG and Oklahoma City Thunder are not going to win the series. That's exactly how much of a must-win this is for any other reason that you don't want the Spurs to believe they can continue to beat you if you're Oklahoma City. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling. Trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business for 130 years, Horicon Bank has helped Wisconsin businesses grow, doing banking differently since 1896. Think of commercial lending. Today, the same local approach, now part of the Milwaukee business community, bringing decision-making closer to the people who matter most, you. Financing requests approved in days, not weeks. Bankers who understand your business. Products designed to support real cash flow needs. Because when it comes to commercial lending, Horicon Bank gets the job done. Together, doing good for 130 years. Hard to believe we're late, but we will have, and Bryan Bulaga deserves it, ESPN National in progress. The Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. Aaron Rodgers, what is the most accurate? You ready, Doc?
Yep.
1, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. 2, best Green Bay quarterback. 3, it's a tie, Star, Rodgers, and Favre. Or 4, a complicated fellow. And Bryan Bulaga, his pick between 1, 2, 3, or 4.
One of the greatest of all time.
There it is. One of the greatest quarterbacks ever, says Bryan Bulaga. I vote it's a tie, Star, Rodgers, and Favre. The other choice is best Green Bay quarterback and complicated fellow, honoring the former president of the Green Bay Packers who said that. And we didn't talk about it, but it's just impossible to understand. Kyle Busch, the great NASCAR driver, passes away at the age of 41. It's just on the 10th, he radioed to his crew requesting medical aid from a doctor and a shot after the race. He had been struggling with a sinus cold that was exacerbated by the intense G-forces and elevation changes, but His family said he was hospitalized with severe illness. They announced earlier today, and he passed away there. And there has to be more information.
Yeah.
41.
Very sad.
How?
Very sad. But
Yeah, no, it's... Come on.
I know.
Little sick. Now dead?
Makes
Yes.
no sense.
Makes no sense. That is the Doc, Bryan Bulaga. And yes, he's so good. It's ESPN National. Everybody together now in progress.
South